The Adventure of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Long man simplifying this series. Read by Pairin Srisom. Chapter 14. The Storm. About midnight, Joe awoke and called the boys. There was already stillness in the air that seemed to threaten something. The boys solved the fairly companionship of the fight in spite of the deadheat of the baseless air. There was still an expectant. Beyond the lights of the fire everything was swallowed up in the blackness. Presently awake, fast off, lightning dimly lit the trees for a moment and vanished. Another came, a little stronger, then another, then a faint more, came sighting through the branches, and the boy camped, fancying that some spite of the night had gone by. There was a pause, now a terrible fast turned night into day and showed, scarlet and ditched. Every little gas bed, the grey about their feet. It showed three white, starless specks too, as if rolled thunder went crashing across the sky and was itself in the distance. A cold breeze sprang up. It stood on the left and started as about to fly. Another flash lit up the forest, and a crash followed that seemed to tear two trees tops right over the boy's head. They have on the edge uttered in sorrow in the thick gulf that followed. A few big raindrops fell up on the roof. Quick, boys, go 4 to 10, a cramped tone. They left away, stumbling over roots in the dark, each dashing in a different direction. A fierce wind rose through the tree, making everything sing as it went. The bleeding flash after another came and rolled up on row of the falling thunder, and now the rain poured down, and rushing wind drove it east along the ground. The boy cried out to each other, but the howling wind and the soaring thunder drove their voices utterly. However, one by one they staggered in at last, and took shelter under the tents, cool, frightened, and steaming with water. The old sailor bent about so fastly that they could not talk, even if the other nose had belonged them. The storm rose higher and higher, and Presley and self tore loose from its fastenings and went flying away on the wind. The boys seized each other's hands and fled, with many stumblings and brushes, to the shelter of a great oak that stood up on the river bank. Now the battle was at its highest. Under the crestless flashes that flamed in the sky, everything below, the bending trees, the river white with foam, the dim outlines of the crest on the other side seen though the rushing could, and the waves of rain stood out in green cut and shadowless distance. From time to time, some granted in the fight and fell crashing through the younger girl. The thunder came now, in ear-splitting, explosive, but pillagingly, keen and unspeakably awful. The storm ended with one gravity effort that seemed likely to tear the island to pieces, burn it up, down it to the treetops, blow it away, and defeat every creature in it at one the same moment. Each was the nice for homeless young hands to be out in. But at last the battle was over, and the forces of nature rioted. With waker and waker, cheers and praise returned. The boys went back to camp a good deal away. But they found that there was still something to be thankful for, because the great tea, which had been the slaughter of their best, was a train now, spring by lightning. Everything in the camp was wet through. The campfire as well. Here was deserted, for they were wet, the skin and sailing. However, they discovered that fire had eaten so far upgrade log against which it had been built that a few inches had escaped waiting. They probably worked at it with leaves and bricks gathered from the under sides of ceiling logs until they proceeded in to burn again. Then they piled on great dead batches till they had a roaring blast. They dried their foot and had a face. After that, they sat by the fire and confessed their midnight adventure until morning, for there was not a dry spot to sleep, and anywhere around. As the sun grew stronger, the boys fell asleep, and they went out on the sandbar and lay down. They were soon burned off by the sun, and Willie began to prepare breakfast. After the meal, they felt stiff-jointed and a little homesick once more. Tom saw the sights and tried to cheer up the pilots as well as he could, but they cared nothing for marbles or crises or swimming or anything. He proposed that they should stop being pilots for the time and be Red Indians for a change. They were attracted by this idea. It was not long before they were split and stiff from head to heel with back made, all of themselves, of course, and then they went dashing through and woods to attack an English settlement. Afterwards, they started into three river tasks and sprang out up on each other from hitting place with dreadful war cries and killed and skinned each other by thousands. It was bloody day, and therefore was a satisfactory one. They assembled in camp to wait, springtime hungry and happy, but now a difficulty occurred. Indian tribes at war with each other could not break bread together without first making breaks, and this was simply an impossibility without smoking a pipe of breaks. Two of the Redskins almost wished that they had remained pirates. However, there was no other way. so with as much cheerfulness as they could pretend. They called for bites of shook their breath as it passed with proper harmony. They were glad that they had become redskins, for they felt that they could now smoke a little without having to go and hunt for a lost snake. They did not get sick enough to be seriously uncomfortable. They practiced constantly after supper with fair success, and so spent a joyful evening.